great guns. Yes, because it's on all day on ESPN.
Oh, yeah. Leave something on.
Exactly.
What else do we have to watch at this point in the year?
You
It's
don't.
like,
It's fantastic.
no, it's Dodgers baseball or it's Wimbledon.
Exactly. So Djokovic is on right now. But why can't U.S. tennis figure itself out and give us something great? And it appears for the men, now you've got Sinner and Alcaraz that are going to win everything for another decade. Can we please get somebody to break through and be on the stage? I think it's 2004 was the last American male to win a singles Grand Slam title. It was Andy Roddick at the U.S. Open.
Was it Roddick? God, that is a long time ago. That's about as far as my knowledge goes on U.S. tennis.
There
and
you
it
go.
happened to be the last guy that won anything from here.
There you
Okay.
go. Dusty is quickly hustling in to cut me off. But no, that's all the magic we got for today. We got it out of our system. Thank you for indulging me. So there you go. The Magic Hat. We'll move on. We'll get back to NBA.
Topspin used to be a really highly rated game back in the day when it was just Xbox. We did play tennis. Topspin was a go-to.
There you go.
So there was a time where tennis ruled, but yeah, it was around 04 when Andy Roddick was winning stuff. We're going back to the Andre Agassi days.
Exactly.
Roger Federer. And he's not even from here, but
no,
those are the biggest names that I remember.
I just remember McEnroe and Borg at center court in Wimbledon finals, and it was epic drama.
You cannot be serious.
You cannot be serious.
No.
I need more of that. All right. Hour one down, hour two coming up. We will get into NBA offseason free agency, Blazers Summer League. Also, the commissioner of the Pac-12, Teresa Gould, spoke after Texas State officially became the 8th football playing member. Now that they can start planning for real things to come, how much pressure is on them to come out of the blocks firing? We'll discuss that coming up. Hour two, Dirt and Sprague next on 1080 The Fan. Hey, it's Mike back with you from my friends at
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, DeAndre Ayton already finding a new home, signing with the Los Angeles Lakers last night at 2 years and $16 million. That includes a player option for the second year. In his age 27 season, he'll end up making $34 million between Portland and Los Angeles next year. It's only $1 million less than he would have made by staying in Portland for next season. Huge news in baseball last night. Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw becoming just the 20th player in history to reach 3,000 strikeouts in their 5-4 win over the White Sox. That was a walk-off thanks to Freddie Freeman for the Dodgers. Kershaw only one of 4 left-handers ever to accomplish the milestone of 3,000 Ks. MLB All-Star starting lineups officially announced. Seattle Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh on the roster for the first time ever. He's still leading the league with 33 home runs, second in RBIs at this point with 71. And the Mariners did squeak out a 3-2 win over Kansas City last night. Randy Arozarena hitting his 12th bomb of the year. They'll go for the series split tonight, clinging to a 2.5-game lead in the wild card. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The inside story on the Blazers, Ducks, and Beavers.
Hour number 2, good morning. Dirt and Sprague starting off your holiday weekend for you here. No Dirt, no Sprague. Sprague scheduled to start his vacation here today. Dirt, very last minute last night, had something that he could not, that needed him somewhere else this morning. But they'll all be on vacation next week. I will be back in here. I know Schultze's going to be in helping out some. Everybody's pitching in next week. They need some vacation as well. But we'll be here most of the week, having a good time, getting you ready for the All-Star game, Summer League, everything that's coming up in the next few weeks before we finally get to, we're counting it down. We're less than 3 weeks from the Big Ten football media days. I think SEC's the week before.
Getting close.
The ACC's in there. So the football is coming very soon. We know how much everybody is yearning for it.
What are we, like 7 weeks away from week 0 at this point, I think?
August 23rd.
So like possibly 6, if my math is correct.
Yeah,
That
0
is
week.
insane.
So Kansas State, Iowa State at 9 a.m. on Saturday, August 23rd from Dublin, Ireland is, I believe, the first official Division I college football game
I had a buddy that was just there
of the season.
doing some prep for said event coming.
There you go.
Yeah,
so we'll be starting that. It'll be duck season here on the Fan before you know it. However, we'll get into the NBA, free agency, off-season maneuvering, sign and trade deals, all of that stuff, buyouts, waves going on. Hard to know what – I think the biggest news locally the last couple of days was the fact that Portland just finally bought themselves out of the DeAndre Ayton contract. In no shocking development, he was able to, at a bargain basement price, find a new home with the Los Angeles Lakers, signing a 2-year deal to join LeBron and Luka as the Lakers whiffed when the free agent negotiating period started. They couldn't keep Dorian Finney-Smith. They couldn't get another guy to come in to them. So DeAndre Ayton slots right into the starting center slot for the Lakers, looking at 25-26. And I'm curious from Blazer fans' standpoint, what's worse? Seeing DeAndre Ayton slide into that and possibly help take the Lakers or ride the coattails of the Lakers on a run, even if he's not playing that bad? Or would it hurt worse if he goes there and balls out?
I mean, does it matter? I don't think
I don't
the
know.
Lakers winning a championship, if they did, would
Blazer
have any...
fans are petty.
Blazers fans are petty, but love y'all. Sometimes Blazers fans let their emotions rule and have been telling me for years how good the Luke Babbitts of the world are going to be. Like, if I'm being honest, I don't really trust diehard, and I'm a diehard Blazers fan, but diehard, super rose-colored glasses Blazers fan, I don't trust their barometer. DeAndre Ayton is not going to be the piece that takes the Lakers over the top. The fact that LeBron is even whispering that he wants a trade away from one of the best players in the NBA and Luka Doncic is crazy. Like, yes, they needed some ancillary pieces, but dude, you've got a situation there, and essentially you're forced into, because of the high salaries on your cap already, you've got to pay these not great, but like second and third tier guys to come in. They're trading Jackson Hayes essentially after the Anthony Davis trade for DeAndre Ayton. And to the point of maybe some success in LA, I think Ayton's the only guy since Dwight Howard to average 10 points and 10 rebounds in his first few years of his career. But he's also had attitude problems. And Portland is a place, because there's been so many questions about the vibe, about where this team's going, because of the problems with Chauncey. Portland's a place where he could do that. How long do you think he's going to last in Los Angeles if he comes in and pitches? JJ Redick's going to tell him to get the hell out.
Oh, yeah. Well, Redick, he couldn't play Jackson Hayes
exactly.
before.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have the fundamental skills or something that JJ Redick needs.
I just think it's going to be funny. I can't wait for impending just blow up either LeBron screaming at him for not being where he's supposed to be. JJ Redick's not going to put up with any nonsense. No. I've nicknamed him the turnstile here because of all the times he's just sitting in the middle of the key with his arms out, spinning around, wondering where the ball's going.
Doesn't do anything defensively.
He gets most of his rebounds just by being the tallest guy on quick threes that get thrown up. He grabs seemingly 6 or 7 of his 10 rebounds just because he's there. So I think there's a little false advertising in the rebounding totals.
I hear you there.
They are looking at it. The Lakers are looking at it, obviously, from the standpoint of Luka's got somebody who can set him screens. You can keep LeBron on the weak side off ball to occupy defenses, because if everybody rolls to Luka, now he can just grab and go straight downhill, either a little pull-up or get to the rim, and then throw lobs to DeAndre Ayton. And then we'll see what happens, with Austin Reeves and what else they may be looking at doing.
I mean, Ayton's a pick and roll guy, right? Like he was supposed to.
If he can't be successful in this environment, he done.
Well, he's got a very short leash, and I'm sure his management has explained that to him. This was a huge risk. Not really because of the money, because I've said it in my updates, he's literally losing $1 million on his $35 million total that he would have made. Now with his $9 million salary plus the 25 from Portland, he's making 34. So there's not much of a leash here. And I don't think that, preseason, if he's slamming chairs like he was in Portland, he's essentially, according to that report from Jason Quick to The Athletic, minus all the crimes, he was like the current day J.R. Rider. J.R. Rider back in the day didn't show up to practices on time. He was late to team flights. He was bitching in the locker room.
That's more infuriating to NBA coaches and staff than the off-court whatever nonsense you might be doing.
And the Blazers kept it under wraps, because you go back in like 97, 98, we saw and heard every instance of J.R. Rider's tardiness or whatever. Well, why isn't he playing in the first quarter? Why isn't Rod Strickland playing in the first quarter? Well, PJ Carlesimo had to freaking sit him out because they didn't show up to practice. It's kind of I'm not surprised, but we're now on the third team for a guy. It just kind of gets annoying when you hear, well, it didn't work out in Phoenix. Maybe it'll work out in Portland. Well, it didn't work out in Portland. Maybe it'll work out in L.A. And frankly, it's shocking to me that a professional organization is still willing to take a chance on a guy for millions of dollars, but here we are.
Well, it's little risk. So Bobby Marks of ESPN, friend of the show, chimed in on what it means for the Lakers signing Ayton.
Yeah, considering where they were about 10 hours ago, it's certainly an improvement here. We had Jared Vanderbilt as their starting center, and and no offense to Jared Vanderbilt, but he's better served coming off the bench. Ayton was the best available center that was left in the free agent market, certainly coming off that buyout here. I think 82% of his shots are field goal percentage at the rim last year. I think the one concern for me is not really a paint presence as far as blocking shots, less than one last year in Portland here, but certainly fills a need, something the Lakers needed. There's still some work to do, especially for that bench. They need some perimeter shooting, but it's a good start for an offseason that started off a little bit slow here.
So there's Bobby Marks, and when Jared Vanderbilt was going to be your starting center, Ayton's certainly an upgrade. We'll see if it works. The other big news from the NBA was Mike Brown stumbled into the head coaching job for the New York Knicks.
Stumbled is right. He was like choice H.
Well, it was more about the Knicks firing Tibbs without a plan, or at least they thought. James Dolan thought he could somehow get Jason Kidd out
Swag,
of Dallas.
Could you imagine if I broke up with my wife and then I came to you and said, hey, I want to take your wife on a date. You say no? Okay, I'm going to go to Rob. Hey, Rob, can I take Nurse Nice on a date? That is literally what the New York Knicks did. They said, you know what? I'm breaking up. I'm ending my marriage before anything even is solid on the outside, and I'm going to go ask about other people's wives. What the hell were you thinking, Leon
They
Rose?
weren't, and James Dolan hasn't been thinking much since he took over that operation. But nonetheless, the Knicks and the Cavs are still the betting favorites to win the Eastern Conference and get to the NBA Finals. For Mike Brown, now, to Mike Brown's credit, he's been with the Cavs with LeBron. He's been with the Lakers with Kobe. He got the Kings to end the longest NBA playoff drought in recent memory.
Light the beam, baby.
And so he certainly has. I think the Knicks got lucky, quite frankly, that they stumbled into somebody with as much credential as Mike Brown has, as well as he will not be overwhelmed by the media and the attention and the chatter and all the nonsense that goes along with being the Knicks head coach. So it will be interesting to see basketball-wise if they can sort something out and be more democratic offensively and have more options so it's not all on Brunson at the end of a game. And still kind of have that defensive presence that Tibbs was able to give them. It will be interesting to see there. Checking the text line real quick, and you can text in 503-864-6326 on the Fan text line. Is DeAndre Ayton worse than Nurkic? Yes.
Oh, by far.
By far.
Yes, Nurkic actually.
Nurk was frustrating as hell because he was that close to being an everyday contributor.
But he actually put in effort compared to the
He put in effort. His problem was more in his fundamentals and mechanics that just drove me up the stinking wall with that. And
plus, he fit right in to the locker room.
I'm well done. Yeah, no, I think Nurk was not a prima donna. Nurk wasn't on his own planet. He very much wanted to be loved and part of the team and all of those things. That was an X's and O's basket. There wasn't an effort issue. Maybe too much effort at times. So, no, Ayton, way more disappointing.
He would bitch on the court, and I think that's like where you would see him, like, he
was emotional. And then it affected his ability to perform.
But literally a drop in effort after a call didn't go his way. That happened quite frequently. I understand maybe why people want to ask, but no, the effort was there. The off-the-court problems weren't nearly what they are with DeAndre Ayton. So, no way.
So, there you go. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens with the Knicks now moving forward, if they can still make a deal or do something in free agency to possibly add a piece to that team. Blazers Summer League schedules released. We are waiting for the Summer League roster. Most of it doesn't matter. We know Caleb Love on his two-way deal will be there. We know first-round pick Wang Han-Sen will be there. That's where all eyes will be. The novelty of the 19-year-old 7'1" Chinese center is going to get me to watch some Summer League that I haven't given a crap about in the last 3 or 4 years. So we'll take a temperature there. Also, one NBA pundit thinking Damian Lillard getting waived by the Bucks is the best thing that happens to his career. We'll hear from that. A little bit more NBA. Some Pac-12 discussion coming up in the bottom half of the hour here. Swag holding down the fort on this July the 3rd. Starting your holiday weekend, it's Dirt and Sprague on 1080 The Fan.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd.
There is no American city that in the last decade
This is Dirt and Sprague on 1080 The Fan.
7:19 here on this glorious Thursday morning before we celebrate the nation's 249th birthday, if my math is correct.
Gonna do anything special for 250, you think?
I would imagine that there will be a certain level of acknowledgement.
But like what? Other than just like, hey, we're doing fireworks shows everywhere. Like literally nothing can be done other than like,
I don't know. Will the U.S. Mint do? I could see the first hairdo doing some special commemorative coin or something.
it's the best coin ever. It's
Yeah.
gonna be huge.
I
literally
I put nothing past him in that regard.
They'll have my signature.
You buying
on
his
it.
fragrance?
No.
Okay.
I've used Dolce & Gabbana the One for years, and to quote one Isaac Everett Ropp, I am the best smelling personality
There
on
you go.
1080 The Fan. So
I rarely go to the cologne.
Really?
Just on special occasions.
I'm cologne every day, baby. I literally came in at 5 a.m. this morning and I had cologne on because I'm a freak.
No, I used to actually Abercrombie and Fitch.
The Abercrombie and Fitch cologne, like that.
Yeah.
That S that you would like walk by and get the waft of.
Actually,
standing next to that shirtless dude.
Something works with me apparently. So
you just wanted to be the shirtless dude. So did I, but I didn't buy the damn cologne.
But I thing for me though, I don't put it on my face. It's like right at the top of the chest, because I'm one that I'm one that listen. If you're going to be close enough to enjoy it, then those are the only people you really need to have it for.
No, you don't overdo it, but yeah, a little dab like under the neck, top of the chest area, on the wrists.
Yeah, not wrists, not behind the ears. No, just a little bit.
Who the hell's behind my ears?
I don't know.
Like what is this, college? Like,
I don't know.
I got a wife.
Whatever floats your boat.
She hasn't been behind my ears. We do some freaky stuff, but nothing behind the ears has been done at my place in a long time there, Swag.
Oh, well, Blazer fans are hoping to see some freaky stuff from their first-round draft pick at Summer League, Wang Han Sen, 7'1", 249 pounds, I think is what they officially list him at. Officially signed his rookie contract with the Trailblazers. I am waiting for the press release for the Summer League team. They usually have a practice or two before they head down to Las Vegas, but the Summer League schedule was released. Their opener Friday, July 11th against the Warriors down in Vegas.
Yeah.
ESPN2 has that one. Right back again Saturday night, 7:30 against the Grizzlies. That will be interesting, especially if Cedric Howard plays, because that was the trade. So Blazer fans, then they get the Pelicans and then the Rockets. And so with the Rockets, with the number 2 pick there, and now it's escaping me.
Oh.
Yeah, not Ace Bailey, but why don't I have it? The other Rutgers kid. Anyway, so you get to see that Thursday, July 17th. That'll be the first-round games. Harper, Dylan Harper.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ron Harper's kid. I want to say Hanson. I was stuck up on Hanson. No, it's not Hanson. So
there's multiple Hansons in the
So
draft.
yeah, so the question will be is, assuming Wong doesn't hurt himself, which unfortunately has been an issue with Blazer first-round picks down at Summer League the last few years. Want to see him, be able to be out there competing. Caleb Love signed the 2-way deal, so he'll be on that roster. I was looking at, okay, what's left on the Blazer roster right now. They took the option or tendered or whatever they're doing with Ryan Rupert. He'll be on the roster next year. Him and McGowan's are the only ones, but they've been in the league for 3 years. Once you've been in the league for 3 years, if you have a roster spot, you're usually not playing in Summer League.
But doesn't Ryan Rupert need the development? Like, he doesn't look good on the court.
Is that really going to develop him anymore rather than going against, regular NBA guys that are going to play? He needs to be going up against guys that he's going to be competing with spots with. He's not competing with the rest of those guys for spots.
I think he needs all the reps he can get.
Okay.
Build some confidence. Like, he's at the point where I haven't seen it confidently enough other than maybe 1 or 2 spurts here and there. And you're right, he's been here long enough. So, I don't know. At this point, you just need to get him reps and hope that the shooting touch improves and hope that he just looks more competent than he did last year.
That'll be the big question. There. But what do you want to see? What do you expect to see from Wong? What are you hoping to see from Wang Han Sen? And how quickly, we were joking about this the other day, was if he has a couple of highlight reel SportsCenter top 10 sorts of things, either ridiculous block shots or ridiculous, dunks, like where he starts at the top of the key, maybe a reverse spin and yams over somebody. I don't know what big guys he's going to be seeing down there, but has some filthy sorts of moves. How quickly Young will be beloved and be the next, Bill Walton the Chinese Bill Walton now of Blazer fans.
I mean, it's not just Blazers fans. Remember when Victor Wembanyama played his first summer league game last year, and it was bad. It was ass, and everybody was like, wasted pick. Everybody had a hot take on it. It's like, he's done. He's washed. No, he was fine. I don't think that we're going to see perfect ball from one Young Hansen, but if you see competency, some of those pieces of the highlights, like getting to the middle against bigger guys, I think that's the encouraging part. I think really the size difference, from the NBA or even NBA prospects to what he was playing against in China, that's going to be the biggest leap for him. So we'll see if he can handle that.
I'm curious to see. I know Donovan Clingan has been working on his 3-point shot. His stats from last season, or maybe it was his career, I read. He's played a couple of years in the Chinese Basketball Association.
Well, they're not good.
33% from 3. He's only 19. And they only play 40 or 50 games a season. So I'm curious when he comes over. Anybody that's ever been to NBA practices, they shoot. Like, it's not like college where you've got to work on defensive sets and do scouting and all that. Half the practice is shooting.
Yeah.
So he is going to get reps and reps and reps. I'll be curious to see where his jump shot is at. Does his form look okay? And with all of the repetition he's going to get, can that 33% become 37, 38% where he's an actual threat on a pick and pop? I want to see him work from both posts, both high posts, top of the key. I want to see him moving around. What does he look like in the pick and roll? Hopefully with Caleb Love, Caleb will throw him the damn ball. That's a big concern because that guy loves to shoot more than anybody coming out of college right now. But yeah, I'm all in. I can't wait. The mystery and legends surrounding him coming from a place like China is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And I hope there's a couple of nuggets that you go, he can do that. And it's all raw. And you hope then with some schooling, the competition every day and practice with Clingan, because we know he's a red ass. So they'll be competitive, and hopefully the coaches can keep them from injuring one another. But I think that will be great for the development now that Ayton's gone. And I think this will be a summer league, I don't know, 5-6 years that I'm most curious about.
I agree.
Because for the Blazers to take another step, this better work.
No, this is
otherwise
Joe Cronin's job.
They're stuck in the same, this is it. When the new ownership comes in, if this doesn't work, they're cleaning house.
No, they took
I will bet the house on that.
Oh, yeah. No,
if this works... this works,
yeah, get ready. I mean, I hope it does, but this is a reach, and it's not just a reach that, like, Portland made. They made it on their own, aside from any other team in the NBA.
Exactly.
It didn't seem like...
they've been scouting him for 2 years.
And it didn't sound like anybody... other than maybe the Nets was going to jump up to the late first round, and yet
it was your only pick. It was your only pick in the draft.
And you hear Joe Cronin saying, we weren't comfortable past 16, yet I have not heard since the draft, Swag, any whispers from any other team saying, you know what? We were in on Young Hansen too. Literally, what I just said, the only other thing that I've heard is that the Nets maybe were going to take him at 27. And I don't know if it's embarrassment or not wanting to jump in on this train of somebody that doesn't look like they're NBA ready yet. You're kind of throwing yourself under the bus if you put yourself out there publicly. But it's shocking to me that there's silence from most NBA organizations about a Young Hansen. I understand you don't really talk about other teams' draft picks, but tea leaves get read. Different statements get released through reporters and anonymous sources. So I'm just shocked that nobody's thrown a comment about Young Hansen out there saying you know what? I'm kind of mad the Blazers got him. We were in on him too. We haven't heard whispers of that, and that worries me.
So Friday, July 11th, 8 o'clock. Look for in the next couple of days the Summer League roster to be released. They still have to fill one roster spot from what I read, Casey Holdall there with the Blazers explaining, okay, here's what's going to happen. Jabari Walker is going to hit free agency. When it's all said and done, when everybody can start signing and all the trades can be completed, the Blazers will have 13 guys under contract, which means they have to have at least 14. You can have 15, not counting the two-way guys. So they got to go find one more person. We'll see if, what they bring in on the Summer League roster, if maybe there's, a journeyman somewhere that might be able to fill that out. They don't really have a ton of money. They do have the mid-level exception. I don't know what's out there, quite frankly, to spend it on.
Oh, just save that spot for Damian Lillard. Bring him home. Veterans minimum.
We'll get to
kidding.
that later.
I'm kidding. But that is an option. They've got the spot open on the roster. Just throwing that out.
Okay.
You said, what are they going to do with it? That is a direction to go.
I don't think that'll be this year. We actually have something on Damian Lillard. We'll get to that a little bit later. But coming up next, for the ticker, Teresa Gold, commissioner of the Pac-12. Now that she has a legitimate conference moving forward, she can start planning for the 26-27 first inaugural season. Texas State is in. She spoke on the record kind of where they are now and what the plan is moving forward. How much pressure is going to be on these schools to perform, to see if they can sneak a team in the college football playoff? How many teams can they get into the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournaments and start getting units and revenue coming in? This is about money moving forward. How fast can they do it? We'll discuss that next. But first, Schultze with an update.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, it didn't take long for former Blazers center DeAndre Ayton to find a new home. He signed with the Lakers last night, a 2-year deal worth $16 million. It's got a player option in the second season. The 27-year-old's going to make $34 million between Portland and Los Angeles next season. Huge news in baseball last night as Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw becomes just the 20th player in history to reach these 3,000 strikeouts in their 5-4 win over the White Sox. Kershaw is one of only 4 left-handers ever to accomplish that milestone. MLB All-Star starting lineups officially announced, and the Seattle Mariners have their representative, catcher Cal Raleigh, officially on the roster for the first time in his career. He's still leading the league with 33 home runs, second in RBIs with 71. The Tigers and Dodgers leading the way with 3 players each starting in the Midsummer Classic. The Mariners did eke out a 3-2 win over Kansas City last night. Randy Arozarena with his 12th whammy. They'll go for the series split tonight, clinging to a 2.5-game lead in the wild card. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schultze from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Jump back to earlier parts of your favorite fan stories can slip through the cracks.
Now, before we do this, let's go over the ground rules.
Pelican Brewing presents The Daily Ticker, where Dirt and Sprague hit the big stories you've heard about, and some you haven't.
How'd you do that? Actually, I'm not even mad. It's amazing.
The Daily Ticker on The Fan is poured by Pelican Brewing. Experience your hops differently with Hard Hops Blackberry, hop-infused hard seltzers.
It is Daily Ticker time, brought to you by Pelican Brewing, who cracks open today's Daily Ticker with Pelicano. Discover a Pelican Summer Seasonal Cerveza. Drink in refreshment. Plenty of refreshment. Pelicanos, I think, will be maybe the perfect sidekick to whatever you're putting on the grill here this weekend.
Absolutely. I had some at the Fan Golf Classic. That was my first
beautiful.
sip of Pelicano. So I was like, yes, please. One, Will Ortner recommended it to me.
There you go.
Went and got one. I'm
See,
like,
you need clean, you need refreshing, you need not so heavy.
No.
Because you're going to be grazing all day and night too. So
you want that perfect buzz, but
because
not like too
let's
heavy.
face it, tomorrow with it being the holiday on a Friday, if you don't have to, travel or be somewhere, when are you cracking the first one? Is it before noon?
Yes, absolutely. Usually a Miller High Life will be opened by like 11 a.m.
Exactly.
If it's a July
Something
4th
like
weekend.
While you're prepping whatever
Yeah.
you got going, whenever you got to throw that thing, on the fan text line. And we are going to do Sprague in the line because it's the last day of the week.
Hell yeah.
So send in those fake sponsors on the fan text line, 503-864-6326. I'm imagining there's going to be a fair few shots taken at me this week about swimming in the ocean. If you caught yesterday's show.
I did. I'll let the listeners pile on for that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I am excited, though.
I'm
for
more
July 4th.
convinced I can do this than squatting 300 pounds, though.
Yeah. Man, that's hard. You think, I could squat 300, but then you look at the weight on the bar and you're like, F that. No,
that was foolish.
I am excited. If you do July 4th right, you're in bed by 11 because you're already hammered. So, you're like, you know what? I'm so tired. It's already been a full enough day.
And the great thing is you got Saturday and Sunday.
Exactly. I am drunk. I'm going to bed listening to fireworks as I fall asleep.
Well, it is Daily Ticker time. July 1st, Texas State officially became the 8th football-playing member of the Pac-12 for the 2026-27 season. And now Commissioner Teresa Gold with Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Utah State, and basketball playing Gonzaga joining Oregon State and Washington State. They have 9 schools. They can move forward and actually start making plans of how this thing's going to work. They announced the CBS Sports partnership a week or so ago, week and a half ago. They have that in place. We know there's going to be other partners, ESPN Plus, ESPN to some extent is expected to be involved. CW will continue to be involved. We think there will be a streaming partner. Not sure if that is Paramount or ESPN Plus, or there is somebody else out there, Amazon Prime, in that regard that may jump in.
ESPN Plus.
So ESPN Plus is a lot more easily accessible for people at this point. But after all that went down, Teresa Gold with SiriusXM College Sports explain now where the conference is and what its focus is moving forward, knowing they've got the membership figured out to start.
When I took this job, it was, March of 2024. And our focus at that time was very much, kind of transitioning our 10 departing institutions and transitioning a number of my colleagues, finishing out all of our championships. But shortly after we turned the page and, I had Oregon State and Washington State remaining and their amazing coaches and amazing student athletes, the thing that was front of mind for me is how do I create the best pathway for them and their future in college athletics? And what became blatantly obvious really quickly, right, in a matter of weeks or months, was that the Pac-12 brand, the Pac-12 legacy, the history of this league really meant something in the marketplace. And whether it was to the fans, to coaches and student athletes, to potential commercial partners, it was clear that the path forward was going to be to continue with the Pac-12. And we were fortunate in that a number of, nationally relevant, nationally competitive institutions and brands and programs were interested in being part of what we were building. We obviously made the announcement in September with the 5 Mountain West programs, followed by Gonzaga, and then most recently, a couple days ago, with Texas State. So I think we have a great group of institutions that are aligned on a number of things. We're going to continue to compete at the highest level, be a top 5 conference. We're going to have nationally relevant brands. We're going to do things differently and be forward thinking in this kind of changing landscape that we're in. And we're going to serve the modern day student athlete in a way that is new and different.
There's Teresa Gold, commissioner of the Pac-12. Now, the last little bit about that was political rhetoric about,
of course,
serving. I'll be curious what that is and means. And if there's anything tangible, significant that comes out of it to have student athletes thinking about the Pac-12, and I think it'll go in conference sort of NIL things, ways that they can set it up to compensate for the fact that they simply don't have the deep pocket donors that the Big Ten and the SEC and the Big 12 will have. So that'll all play out. But the most important thing is they get to start planning now. There's no wait till the 11th hour. Does Memphis, does Tulane, do we have to dip down into the Big Sky? Do we have to yank Idaho? Do we have to yank Sacramento State? Texas State is a big enrollment's around 40,000. They are putting money into facilities and programs. Look, once you get over the fact that this is now your lot in life, and I know that there are Cougar and Beaver fans that still haven't gotten there, you have what is potentially a very good basketball conference. Football, there's potential.
Yeah.
But I also think there is a ton of pressure right out of the chute. First season, they need to come out gangbusters. They need to put multiple teams into the NCAA men's and women's tournament. The NCAA women's tournament now is going to start having revenue units for teams as they advance the way that the men do. So that is they need to generate revenue.
Yeah.
It's nice that the TV deals are short term, because if they can capitalize on just having a conference, being a presence, we're going to find out real quick if that Pac-12 brand actually means something, if they can dwarf what the Mountain West is going to do. Can they maybe TNT looking for things in the fall without the NBA? Would they be interested in some more basketball? Would they be interested in some more regular football? I think they've got some options available to them. And as long as they're not myopic in terms of what they think that value is initially, but the pressure on them to football-wise, see if they can sneak a team into the back end, get that group of 5 or 6 or whatever it's being called now, automatic berth, try to be one of the last at-large teams in, whoever it might be. And this is where fans, if you want your team, whether it's the Cougs or the Beavs or Boise State, I know people are listening there, to be successful and feel like you can move forward and see a pathway back to the standing and the prominence that you once held when the Pac-12 was the Pac-12, you got to root for the conference overall.
Yeah.
And so if you come at it with some sort of negative attitude of it just being small time, then you're never going to be satisfied.
No.
Basketball-wise, I think, based on the pedigree of some of these programs, there's it's not out of the realm of possibilities to have 3 or 4 teams in the men's tournament, and that would be huge, especially if they expand it. If they expand it, you get 5 in, depending. Gonzaga's going to be in. San Diego State should be in.
Yeah.
Washington State has the potential to do that. If Tinkle can keep Oregon State moving, Boise State, Coach Rice is down there, consistently has teams right on the bubble. So, but I think the pressure needs to be on now. This season is this season for whatever, but I think the plans for both football and men's basketball need to be, we are planning for 26-27 this season.
I like that we have a competent head of the conference now. Like, Teresa Gould just sounds smarter, frankly, than George Kliavkoff ever did and Larry Scott ever did. You hear what she says and you actually believe it, and you feel like that there's a plan behind it, as opposed to just, well, I'm just here making a big salary and I'm trying to have fun doing it, essentially. Like, there's thankfully like a measure of success that we've seen in the last year with this conference staying alive. I just don't know, like, I don't want to go negative Nancy on it. Like, yes, it's not what it was, but there really is something to put your hat on here, and congrats to Teresa Gould for leading the way and doing that. Now, going forward, will these schools be able to sneak in this year and gain some prominence? I don't think, like, to a college football playoff or to the NCAA tournament. I don't think that's as important, Swag, as, and I said while you were kind of opening this segment, as getting a streaming partner that is as accessible to everybody as possible. You don't want to be on a Paramount Plus. I love Paramount Plus, but, like, you got to pay a bunch extra for that, and that's not necessarily something that sports fans are going to.
Nope.
You need it.
You got to be able to trip over it.
If I'm Teresa Gould, I'm taking less money for the conference so I can be on ESPN Plus. I watch more Division II crap football because it's on ESPN Plus on a Saturday night than I do a game that's on the CW or on Ion or whatever the hell streaming platform you want to put it on. Access is key here. If we want, I mean, obviously the conference success, that depends on how well the teams play, but you want to build some freaking support, and the way to do that is access.
So I think you're going to see them be innovative you're going to see a lot of Pac-12 After Dark coming back.
Yeah.
That's their slot. That's where the biggest revenue is going to be for them. They're going to have to they still need to generate revenue. That's going to be key early on. We'll carry this over. Love you to see your thoughts on the fan text line or YouTube chats or wherever you are finding us at 503-864-6326. And we'll have more on the Pac-12. They are actually a conference moving forward. What's the next step? How much success do they need to have early to generate the ability to get back to some level of prominence? That as we continue on, it's Dirt and Sprague on 1080 The Fan.
Who's stinking it up?
Woo! Do not go in there.
It's time for Who's Stinking It Up, a sports lowlight that's ripped from the headlines.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Schedule your appointment online at threemountainshome.services.com.
That one off the leg of Berg. No chance to make a play anywhere. That'll score another run. A base hit for Cam Smith, who's going to run all the way down to Boulder down the right field line. It's 5-2 Astros.
Cam Smith there with the Space City home network Astros television as the Rockies continue to be mired in one of the worst seasons, arguably the worst season in modern Major League history, yet to win 20 games as we approach the All-Star break. They got to move them out of Denver. You just can't have a Major League team playing at altitude. It'll never work. You'll never get pitching. The only way to do it was the Blake Street Bombers, and I don't think that'll work anymore.
It'll work, but you've got to literally get pitching, and then
you can't get pitching.
You can
no
get
free agent pitcher is going to go there.
You can get pitching for the road, but you need to load up on hitters, so you do it at.
Rockies are stinking it up. They've been stinking it up all year long. Stinking it up there. When was the last time you had your drain cleared? Well, here's the deal. You need to take advantage right now. Three Mountains is offering a drain clear for just $59. Book your appointment online at threemountainshome.services.com. That's threemountainshome.services.com. They make home services delightful.
Thanks to our This is Dirt and Sprague on 1080 The Fan.
Swag and Schultze here on a Thursday before the big holiday weekend, getting your festivities started off. Dirt and Sprague out. They'll be on vacation next week, but I'll be back. We'll have a slew of guest hosts rolling in. Schultze's sitting in Monday. Summer of Swag still continues Monday. I will enjoy a day.
I'm in Monday as host? Okay, cool.
Somebody, I think, I don't know, either producing, I don't know how it's working out. Dusty got it all figured out.
I didn't hear.
It's like a team approach, I think, on Monday.
Gotcha.
We're taking your fake sponsors. We will Sprague the line at 8:30. It is a Thursday, but fan is off all weekend. Plenty of baseball for you all weekend, so you can feel that Americana, as it were, throughout the weekend. But we were discussing the Pac-12, the new Pac-12, the revitalized Pac-12, now that it's an actual conference moving forward. But the pressure that's going to be on to perform, get some wins, get into the NCAA basketball tournaments, to get some big non-conference wins right out of the chute. Now, they will have 8 football-playing members to start. They could still add another one. They desperately want to push this thing to probably 12. They would like to get it back to Pac-12. I think that's a good number for them. You always hold out in the back of your mind that Stanford and Cal get fed up with the ACC and the travel, and they're still not making – I don't know when they start getting revenue from the grant of rights, how long they agreed to go in for free. I don't know when that's going to happen. Stanford has enough of their own money. They can just say, F this. We're tired of this.
30% for the first 7 years, followed by a 70 and 75% after that. So
okay.
It's going to take nearly 10 years for a full share to be given to Cal.
And at some point, and if they don't have any success in the big sports, in basketball, in football, if they're just constantly getting their brains beat in, why are we spending all of this extra time and effort and resources to be a part of this? Are they continually going to get the 7:30, 8 p.m. Kickoff times, for their home games? Fans will get tired of that. In the back of my mind, I wonder how much longer before they just say, nah, screw it. You can have our grant of rights. We're out of here. Let's go dial up there. But I did notice, if you looked at future football schedules, Boise State in 2026 is at Oregon to start the season.
Oh man.
How big would it be for Boise State to go in there to your Oregon Ducks right here on this very station? And if the conference wants to establish itself with some authority, announce itself a little Nuke Lelouch style, if they pulled off that upset right there and let everybody know that the Pac-12 is serious. They need an attention grabber just like that. I also think football-wise, and if I'm Teresa Gould, I'm reaching out to Greg Sankey and saying, hey, your traditional second to last week of the season when you have those Sunbelt cupcakes that nobody watches, how about we do a little deal? Because we need 5 non-conference games right now if we're only going to have 8 teams in the football conference. 1 year only. And they all go out there. We'll take a paycheck, all of those sorts of things. If we need to put some games on our media partners, we'll broker a deal there. How much fun would it be, especially for those, if you want to lure, if you don't have the NIL money, you're trying to get some recruits to either stay home or come in and say, you know what, we're going to go. You're going to have a chance to play an SEC team on the road in their territory at the end of a season. I'm making that phone call.
Hell yeah.
Why wouldn't you? But I think you're going to have some inventive things like that in the first couple of years. It might seem like stunts. It might be shenanigans. But if you can pull off a couple of victories, same thing with the SEC with basketball. You have a good basketball conference. Maybe it's the Big East that's a non-foot, they don't – similar situation. I would look to try to set up a couple of strategic relationships scheduling-wise with that. One, you're going to get eyeballs on it. That will help. Maybe you pull off some upsets. Maybe you get some paychecks along the way. If she is truly inventive in that regard, then I think you have an opportunity for this thing to get some sea legs real quick and possibly lure that 10th, 11th, 12th teams in to give yourself a little bit more girth and power as a conference.
You got to lean into the basketball side of things. I've been saying this for years. Oregon State has, they just haven't been a relevant program like you want them to be. Even under Jonathan Smith, it was a nice ride up the mountain, but the national prominence is going to come for Oregon State from basketball now. Same with Washington State. And I hate to say it, I'm not trying to knock your guys' programs, but that's just what it is. Make sure if you're the athletic directors, you're going to Teresa Gould saying, hey, here's my plan. Obviously, we're trying to support the football program in any way, shape, or possible, but there's got to be a big push from your guys' end to promote these programs. And we've got to make sure that anything is being done possible if I'm the Pac-12 conference, that NIL money is piped into really specifically going towards these basketball programs. You need to see Gonzaga making the tournament again as like a top 3 seed. Exactly. But then that along with Oregon State and Washington State making the tournament as like a
Boise
top
State,
10 or 12
San Diego
seed.
State, Colorado State all have recent pedigrees of getting into tournaments. Yeah, basketball can be something, and that's revenue-wise, but I think they need to have a little fake bravado.
Agreed.
When they start, fake it till you make it.
Damn right.
And go from there. So we'll see how it starts to play out here now that Teresa Gould can start actually planning for 26 and 27. 2 hours down. Hour 3 coming up. Again, we will Sprague the line at 8:30, so let's get those fake sponsors. But your boy, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, an AL All-Star starter. The starters were announced for the Midsummer Classic coming up in a week and a half. We will start hour number 3 there. It's Dirt and Sprague here on 1080 The Fan.
Get in the zone. the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. A Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, former Blazers center DeAndre Ayton quickly finding a new home, signing with the Los Angeles Lakers last night. 2 years, $16 million with a player option in the second season. He'll make $34 million between Portland and Los Angeles next year. Other huge news, this time in baseball last night, the Dodgers get Clayton Kershaw his 3,000th strikeout. He becomes just the 20th player in history to reach that milestone in the Dodgers' 5-4 win over the White Sox. Kershaw is one of only 4 left-handers ever to accomplish that milestone. MLB All-Star starting lineups officially announced. Seattle Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh on the roster for the first time in his career. He's still leading the league with 33 home runs and in second with 71 RBIs right now. The Mariners did squeak out a 3-2 win over the Royals last night, wrapping up the series tonight up at T-Mobile Park. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schultze from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
More, please. Golf in the Northwest with Jason Swigart is back. Saturdays at 8 a.m. before the Sinner and the Saint on Portland's sports leader, 1080 The Fan.
And, how do you enjoy prosperity? Well, you do all the stuff that got you there in the first place.
This is Dirt and Sprague.
All the little things, it's not some deal where I'll get in trouble for this, I'm certain, but
Andy Dirt Johnson.
Where instead of playing hard and getting a first down and getting a play, then, you want to sit behind a shade tree, eat a fish sandwich, and drink a lemonade with your fat little girlfriend.
And Brendan Sprague.
I'm working on this trademark cough. What do you think? It's getting better, too. Well, then, we marched it downfield.
Dirt and Sprague on 1080 The Fan.
R.I.P. Pirate. Can't wait till he goes in the College Football Hall of Fame.
I'm glad that they changed the rules for that. That was something that just needed to happen.
He was so much fun.
Gosh darn it.
We'll miss him. Hopefully there will be something in the new Pac-12 in his honor.
Yeah, like a Mike Leach Award, the Coach of the Year, or something like that. That would be really cool. Or like
Or the Pac-12 media gives out like a media award to their
something along with that. Yeah, the best interviewee of the Pac-12,
Exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah, always comes out, always on time, always available,
Always funny.
Yeah,
Personality.
exactly.
You see, this is such a he is such a gem, or was such a gem, and the examples like him where you just have fun watching regardless of the situation are so few and far between. You think of like a Greg Popovich.
Exactly.
It's just one of the greats, and we all miss him, man.
We all miss him. As you can tell, not quite Dirt and Sprague here on this July 3rd. Swag sitting in. Schultze here with me. One more hour to go. We'll Sprague the line at 8:30. So if you have a fake sponsor, offer it up. We'll see among the 4th of July, a lot of baseball, Wimbledon, but probably more. I'm sure Schultze's laying some coin. Not a good value, though, on your boy Joey Chestnut at the Nathan's hot dog eating, but you can place a wager on that if you so wish.
Well,
so
he's back this year.
He is back. Whatever, but that was stupid. But the hot dog eating contest is stupid to begin with.
I know you don't like excess gluttony.
No, glorified gluttony, not on my list of must-see TV.
Gluttony for the sake of gluttony.
What is on my list of must-see TV in the summer is the Major League All-Star Game and Home Run Derby, and your boy, the big dumper himself, Cal Raleigh, named the starting catcher for the American League. He is leading the league with 33 home runs. He has the second best WAR at 5.6 behind Aaron Judge. He is tied. Well, he's trying to tie Ken Griffey Jr., who had 35 home runs before the All-Star break. That is the record in 1998. He did 33 in 94. It's the most home runs by a primary catcher before the All-Star break. breaking Johnny Bench there. He also is second in the major leagues with 71 RBI, so he's having an unbelievable special season as a switch-hitting catcher, which is tough enough. And they caught up with him. He did a little media session in the dugout before yesterday's game, 3-2. They got the win. And just the complete unassuming opposite of what you would expect. He's the complete opposite of Julio Rodriguez. We remember him being kind of the star of the All-Star show in his rookie year.
Yeah.
He put on a show at the Home Run Derby. He was mic'd up out there in the field talking about it. Cal, just glad this whole process is over.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, Dan said a lot of nice words, and obviously all the guys were very happy, congratulated me. So it means a lot. We're together every day, and those are the guys that we go out to war with. So they mean a lot to me. They're brothers, and just very excited. Very just blessed.
What was your message to the team right now?
It's kind of the same that I said to you. I'm sorry that all this nonsense has been going on for the last couple of days with all the voting and stuff. But I appreciate them and everything they've done for me, and basically just saying it's kind of like a dream come true with an All-Star game and being a starter. But we definitely have bigger things ahead. I'm looking forward to October with these guys and winning a World Series with them. And that's the real dreams.
Clearly, he was uncomfortable with his face all over dump trucks throughout the Puget Sound area, the big push. And this is just what teams do. It's a big deal for teams to obviously have their players. And you knew Cal wasn't going to be campaigning himself. And so the marketing department and all that stuff going on, clearly it was overwhelming for him. I think now that that's done, look for him to go on a little bit of a barrage. Today, they wrap up the series trying to take 3 out of 4 from the Royals today. And then they get Pittsburgh in town before they head out for the last week. They had dodged Skeens. I think the dumper might dump 2 or 3 out there into the left field at T-Mobile. He might be at 35, 36 before they head and finish up. It's a tough week before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
They're at the Yankees and they're at the Tigers. The only thing going for them with the Yankees is their starting pitching is questionable, and you have a short porch there. So if he can spin around and hit lefty, he might be able to yank a couple out of the short porch there. I don't know if he gets all the way to Barry Bonds' 39 before the All-Star game, which is the record. But I'm curious. Obviously, you're tuning in to see your Mariners in the All-Star game. That is on Tuesday the 12th, or Tuesday, what, the 15th?
Yeah.
I'm losing track of days.
2 weeks, a week and a half from now.
Is it more important, your Mariner fandom? Are you more hyped about him being in the Home Run Derby and possibly winning the Home Run Derby? Or is it more important it's tough for catchers in the All-Star game because you're only going to get 1 or 2 at-bats.
Yeah.
It's hard to really show off what you're doing. It's more about the pitchers. And then, obviously if he goes yard in the All-Star game off of whoever he's going to go yard off, whether it's Skeens or I don't know who's going to be possibly starting for them.
I don't know, like Zach Wheeler.
Somebody like that. If he does that, if he delivers a big hit. Because defensively, if you make a great play, diving catch or rob one over the fence, defensively, you have an opportunity to make a highlight reel. Pardon me.
Well, if you hit a homer, you're the MVP, basically, right? Like that.
If it's a game-deciding homer.
Exactly.
It's more, pitchers coming in and can they strike out, kind of the side sort of thing there. What's more important for him to have a showing in the Home Run Derby where it's more of a showcase or in the game itself?
I think people remember the Home Run Derby more. I feel like we talk about Pete Alonso, multi-time home run champion, just because, of the prestige of the event. We remember home run derbies of years past and performances by the likes of like Mark McGwire, Josh Hamilton, great runs, Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, Julio put on a show.
He did. In the first round, it was an amazing
Adley
show.
Rutschman.
Exactly. Like, and Julio didn't really live up to it in the last round. He ended up getting the runner-up, but it's just so fascinating every single year when you think back to these derbies as opposed to the All-Star game. I have bigger memories of like when the Mariners sent 8 players to the All-Star game in 2001 when it happened to be up at Safeco Field.
At Safeco, Ripken's last one.
Exactly. Brett Boone was in the home run derby. Like, I remember the lineup of guys sitting there being announced before they went and slammed up at the plate at the derby as opposed to the All-Star game. It just seems to me that, like, my dad and I were talking about going to the All-Star game when it was back at T-Mobile a couple of years ago, and we were like, what do we want to do? Do we want to do the actual home run derby or the All-Star game? Because tickets for both are spending.
Yes.
And I would guess a lot of people prefer the derby. So I think it's more important for him to play out in the derby. I think when Julio was in the derby 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago in 2022, people were hoping to see a showing from him, and then look at all the highlights that he had on ESPN. It's just way more of a must-see event than the actual All-Star game, and hopefully Cal can rise to a little bit more national prominence.
Well, hopefully it doesn't zap, he doesn't.
I'm worried about that, too.
So, because, and catchers, for the most part, and we will see, I mean, he is the primary catcher.
Yeah.
It's not a 60-40 situation. It's a 75-80-20 situation with Cal back there.
And he's playing DH every other day.
Yeah, and we'll see. Well, DHing, at least all there, that's got to be a breather for him. Just he doesn't have to worry about pitching staffs and all of those,
it's
everything that goes into it.
The Mariners roster makeup, unfortunately, never gives him a breather because their backup catcher, Mitch Garver, sometimes plays designated hitter. So Cal's always got to be ready.
He's always got to be ready.
Like Garver went out because of a concussion, or a broken jaw or whatever a week ago. Cal had to come right in the 6th inning. Like, it just sucks, and the Mariners aren't doing him any favors there.
No. It's nice to see a Rosarina get hot, and hopefully he continues that to provide him a little bit more protection in the lineup.
No kidding.
Teams start pitching around him.
2 games with a home run in a row.
Yeah, he's had 4 in his last 3 or 4 games or something like that.
Yeah, 3 in his last 4. Yeah.
3 in his last 4. So they will go for a the series win today, taking 3 out of 4. They are in the final wild card spot, and we'll see. Anybody else? Anything else with the All-Star game that's catching your attention? A lot of first-time starters for the American League. Jacob Wilson is a first. He's a rookie, so you got a rookie shortstop there from the A's. Riley Green is a first-time starter, so you got Green and Baez out there. Ryan O'Hearn at DH, his first All-Star selection.
I think Javi Baez making it to the All-Star game. I mean, the Tigers in general with 3 starters out of 9 for the American League.
They got the best record in the league.
No kidding, and they're one of the most surprising teams.
Skubal might be the starter on the mound.
Well, absolutely. And you got Riley Green. Like, no, these guys are hitting the cover off the ball. It's fun to see and it's unexpected. But Javier Baez specifically, his resurgence, I think it's a cool story. That dude was in the cellar. And last year, saying he would be an all-star in 2025, people would have called you crazy. So good for him, able to find it again there.
Yeah, for the National League, a lot of Cubs, a lot of Doyers.
3 Doyers. Probably could have been more. You said that off the air.
Yeah. But I think you have a fair representation. Machado at third, Ketel Marte, that's a great story at second base. He's been doing everything he can to keep the Diamondbacks in the race. They've been beset with injuries.
Man, he ended up being one of the worst Mariners traded. Like as far as like the deal that hurt them, because they got 3 years of decent production from Haniger, maybe 4.
Yeah.
Look at Ketel Marte.
Pete Crow Armstrong will start in center field. His first career All-Star selection. He's been. He'll be the darling, I think, for the National League. Aside, obviously, Shohei's the headliner.
He's already 2020 this year.
Yeah.
Like, he is one of the best young players in baseball. I would say that he's going to be one of the faces in the next few years.
So there you go. The starting pitcher, I'm not sure they break it out. The pitchers will probably be announced here maybe over the weekend, and then middle of next week, the reserves will kick in. And obviously, part of it is every team must have 1 representative. So they will fill in.
Is that still true?
I believe that's still true for baseball. The rosters have been expanded now. They're out to 30. They want to make sure nobody gets overtaxed, especially the pitchers. So there'll be some. I don't know if there'll be any injury replacements. I think everybody should be mostly good to go.
But
That's been selected, unless something horrible happens here in the next week, which you don't want to see.
Usually get a handful of injury replacements. It's
So-
how Ty France made it for the Mariners a couple years ago.
So we'll see. We'll see if the Mariners get another one. Maybe a pitcher. Brian Wu might. He's probably the one that could make the pitching staff. Or I don't know if one of the relievers, if Munoz might be there at the back end. Or
Munoz, I mean, he's had a couple of shaky performances, but I would assume that he's still one of the leading vote getters for closer. And then Wu has been the only pitcher in all of baseball that has gone 6 innings every single start this year.
Yeah, he's been consistent, and obviously he's had 1 or 2 where he's gotten shelled. But
who hasn't?
Who
Come
hasn't?
on, Tariq Skubal gave up 4 or 5 runs in one game. It happens.
So we'll see. We'll see if the Mariners get another one on the roster. But there you go. Congratulations to Cal Raleigh. It'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully he comes through and performs well, because he's kind of the anti-superstar in his demeanor that you would expect from a catcher. He has the catcher mentality, and it's been a lot of fun to see. And he will be there. His brother is going to catch. His dad is going to pitch in the home run derby. It'll be a great story. Hopefully he won't be too overwhelmed by the moment, and he'll learn to embrace it and just have a lot of fun. So there you go. That's what's going on. When we come back, could Damian Lillard get his first NBA championship before anybody else with the Milwaukee Bucks? One NBA pundit thinks so. Sprague in the line coming up at 8:30 as well. We continue on. It's Dirt and Sprague here. Swag sitting in for the crew on 1080 The Fan.
This is Dirt and Sprague on 1080 The Fan.
Swag and Schultze sitting in for Dirt and Sprague here on this Thursday. Hope you are have great holiday plans. Hope you are very safe in getting to wherever you are getting to. Don't be in a hurry. Hopefully, most road construction is off for the weekend, as it should be. Hopefully, PBOT, ODOT, all understanding it's the most traveled weekend of the summer. So let's not cause any more problems than we need to.
We're not smart with our roads out here.
Well, fortunately, 217 got the paving done.
That is nice. And
that
was bad.
It is noticeably better. There's still a little bit of work to do from Shoals Ferry up to 99. Heading south.
Traffic this summer has been awful. Like more, just more than normal.
All right. Well, hopefully everybody backs off. Take your time, whether you're going to the coast, maybe you're going across the mountains to Central Oregon, down south, up north, wherever the case may be. Take your time. Let people in. Don't be that guy.
Don't do it.
Or that girl. Or that gal.
And don't ride in the fast lane doing the exact speed limit. If you're in the fast lane, go. Please, let me live.
That is such an Oregon staple. Like people that come here and drive that haven't grown up, and there's like, what? I go, no, that's what we do here in Oregon for whatever reason. Can't explain it.
And the worst thing about it is, Swag, when I go to the right, then they speed up.
I know.
What are you doing? It's not a personal pissing contest.
I don't know what it is. I can't.
I just want to get to my destination.
That one, I will defend Oregon in a lot of things. Born and raised here. Not that.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Born and raised, I don't subscribe to that group of people.
Don't know. Just don't know where that came from. We've had a lot of fun today, so I appreciate people indulging me as I've gotten to go off on many of the tangents and all of the. We did soccer, we did Wimbledon, we did some golf. However, Dame Lillard story early in the week, Bucks waived him, and now he will begin his rehab process. It is expected that he'll come home here his home. In the Portland area and wants to do his rehab here, be with his family and friends. And then the question will be, how quickly can he recover from the ruptured Achilles tendon? But being a free agent, he will have his pick. And if he can convince NBA teams that he has recovered to a point where he can be effective, especially with his shooting always at a premium, especially for playoff teams. There's the outside possibility, before, I don't know when the deadline is to sign somebody to have them on the playoff roster. I think it's a little bit after the trade deadline. I think it's in March.
Yeah.
And if he can convince somebody, maybe latch on to a team going to the playoffs who could use a little bit of shooting off the bench. Will he have 2-3 years left where he is an effective point guard? That remains to be seen. But one pundit, David Dennis Jr. of Anscape and ESPN fame, believes he's poised to actually get his NBA title before his career is over.
He is going to be an addendum to a team that is already going to be in the championship spotlight, right? And he's also going to be able to do that without having to gamble. He's going to look and see who is best positioned to win a championship. All they need is a little bit of Dame Lillard. This is like when Kevin Durant level for the price that we're talking about and the fact that you're adding him to an already championship level team. This is going to change so many franchises. You want to talk about the Lakers trying to make sure that Luka wants to come back? Hey, we're bringing Dame. You want to talk about the Nuggets and saying, hey, Jokic, we want to build some around you. Like, he can go to literally anybody for $1 and turn them from a team that is in the conference championship or the second round, and they can win a championship with Dame Lillard. Out of everybody involved in this whole thing, Milwaukee, Giannis, Miles Turner, Indiana, Dame Lillard, out of all of this, is the person most positioned to win the championship before anybody else.
Now, I think Blazer fans would all have a smile on their face if Damian Lillard was able to get that championship ring, even though he wasn't able to do it in Portland. There is still the theory that he's going to come back. I believe he will finish his career in Portland in some capacity, kind of the way Maurice Lucas did. But this young group of Blazers, and we've talked about this, they need the opportunity to come together and gel together themselves. And then if he can come back and be, a kind of a missing piece shooter off the bench sort of thing. But is there a team that if he went to either late this year for the playoff run or next year and is there a team that he did it with? Like if he went to the Lakers, how much would that hurt? Like, could you stomach that?
I could stomach.
Or is the love for Dame Lillard so established by Blazer fans that it won't matter? It's just about him getting a title, and you're glad to see it.
I mean, I can stomach the Lakers more than the Warriors. The fact that like multiple reports have said that the Warriors are trying for Dame Lillard.
That makes the most sense to me. They won't do it, but that seems because I think the Warriors need to figure out if they're going to have a team that's going to be, top 6, top 4 worthy in the West.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced yet that they have all those pieces and how healthy they are. And they're always one key injury away from it falling apart, whether it's Draymond Green or Steph Curry.
Yeah, Does anybody remember back in 2023, though, when Dame said he would never go to Golden State? Like, I've got the quote right here. I respect what they've been doing over the last 8-9 years, and I'm from there. Obviously, that's home. But I can't go be a part of that. They've won 4 titles. Would I look like going to try to do that? There's somebody that plays that position, or my position, that's behind LeBron, the best player of this era. To me, it doesn't make sense. I'd lose every year before going to the Warriors. So the fact that pundits are even throwing that out right now without citing his prior comments that he's already been like, no, on Golden State. I don't want to watch him go to the Dubs, pair up with Steph Curry, and win a title. I'd literally rather watch him pair with LeBron. If you said Jordan, pick one, I'd choose the Lakers.
That was all with the Miami Heat thing going on, if my timeline is correct, when it was clear he was leaving Portland.
But he's also always had something against Golden State. Like, it's he's like, yeah, it's home, but like, why would I want to go join Steph Curry? It's just dumb. And he's right.
I think the situation is completely different now.
I mean, what is he coming off the bench now? And he's not like a. Do you think he's going to come off the
this
bench
year? If he's able to come back and play this year at some point.
I mean, yeah, but if you're looking at long term,
no, I don't. I'm looking at like him just
next March.
Yeah, in March. He's got it back together. He's had some workouts. All the NBA GMs and coaches and scouts have come and looked, and said, "Oh, okay, he can help us." He's still limited, but no, I think he might come back, hop on a team, be a little boost for a playoff run. I could see that with the Warriors. Him then signing for another 2 years, I don't think that'll happen, because if he is effective and gives them something in a run to an NBA championship, then there's going to be another team that desperately needs a starting point guard or somebody that can play 25 minutes and will give him a contract that the Warriors won't be able to give him.
I mean, would the Blazers fans be more okay with him going to the Heat per se? Because there were a lot of fans, I think myself included, that didn't want Cronin to flip him to Miami in the first place. Like, it's up to him now. But why would Blazers fans be any happier now that he's headed to Miami?
I'm just wondering if there's a, where's the line of fandom that gets drawn for Blazer fans of,
for me, the Dubs.
Nope, we're happy. We're happy that Dame finally got to play at that level. He certainly deserved it, earned it, did everything he could for the Blazers. But is there a team or a uniform you see him in there and you just, that's just sour?
Yeah, no, Golden State.
Okay.
Get the hell right out. You know what? I'd palate it with the Lakers. I could palate it even more with the Boston Celtics. He actually, without Jason Tatum, looks like a fit there, especially on the veteran minimum, because the Celtics are just barely still over the second apron by million.
Man, that'll hurt more watching him and Peyton Pritchard. That would hurt.
It would.
I don't think you'd be mad, but that would hurt.
It's also not in your conference. Like him playing for Milwaukee as opposed to like Minnesota. That's tough. When Brandon Roy went to Minnesota, it sucked.
I think it would be worse in a Laker uniform than a Warrior. The Lakers would probably be the one where I'd be like,
I mean, I see it, but I just, with his prior comments already made about the Warriors and their level of success and him wanting to do it anywhere but there, yeah, I'm subscribing to that.
All right. Well, we will see. Obviously, we are months away from that even being a remote possibility if he can come back and possibly play in this next season late. If not, how the rehab will go, assuming there are no setbacks but we know he will take his rehab extremely diligently. It is time to Sprague the line. We got a few of those fake sponsors in. Still time left to go if you want to send one in. We'll see what there is to wager on this weekend. You've got some baseball. You have Wimbledon, some WNBA. You've got the Gold Cup if you want to put some soccer money down. Also, Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Is it a runaway? Is there any value anywhere else? All of that as we head down the stretch here. It's Dirt and Sprague on 1080 The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, didn't take long for former Blazers center DeAndre Ayton to find a home. He signed with the Los Angeles Lakers, 2 years, $16 million total. There is a player option in the second season there. The 27-year-old making $34 million total between Portland and Los Angeles next season. Huge news in baseball last night. Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw becoming just the 20th player in history to reach 3,000 strikeouts in the Dodgers' 5-4 win over the White Sox. Kershaw, one of only 4 left-handers to ever accomplish that milestone. And MLB All-Stars have been announced, or at least the starting lineup. Seattle Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh officially on the roster for the first time in his career, still leading the league with 33 whammies. No whammies for him last night, but Randy Arozarena hitting another one in the Mariners' 3-2 win over the Royals. They'll be back at it tonight, 7:10 first pitch on Root Sports. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Schulte from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Heard missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now,
Sprigging the line.
Sprigging the line.
Sprigging the line.
Sprigging the line.
Sprigging the line. Yes, it is time to Sprague the line. It is our final show on Dirt and Sprague for the week with the holiday tomorrow.
Happy 4th, everybody.
Yes, happy 4th. Be safe. Make sure you got that water there if you're doing fireworks
Happy
nearby.
birthday to my stepmom. She was born on America's birthday.
Well, there you go.
That was always fun. You mentioned like going out in the boondocks of Idaho. Like,
yes.
She had some property in Mount Angel.
Oh.
So every year when I was a kid, her family would basically do the same thing that you were talking about.
There you go.
Shooting the very large mortars out of the metal tubes.
Exactly.
And a lot of booze would be had by the adults.
Yeah, now it's not right there, but you're close to St. Paul. Did you take the rodeo in?
No, I'm not a rodeo guy, but we would always go back for Oktoberfest in
yes.
August, September. Absolutely.
Excellent. All right, we do have a couple of fake sponsors. Sprague on the line brought to you by Sprague's Independence Day celebration. He's lost so much money gambling that he can't afford fireworks, so instead his kids are just going to throw a bunch of metal into the microwave and watch the sparks fly there.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. We don't have the ding?
I have the ding. I just was on the wrong page.
Oh, okay. I know. We're getting more drops. We're starting to become like prime time in that regard.
We
Sprague on the line brought to you by Joey Chestnut. In 10 minutes tomorrow, he'll shove more wieners down his throat than Sprague could afford in a year. Hey, there it is.
That's more wieners down. Yeah.
Sprague on the line brought to you by All-Star game starter Cal Raleigh. Now that I think about it, my Yankees could use an upgraded catcher. shots at Jordan.
Yeah, whatever. A year ago when Cal Raleigh wasn't apparently the greatest catcher in baseball. Jeez. What? Literally 50 points on his batting average makes people say, oh, now he is. He was pretty much the same hitter last year, minus from the right side. Just saying.
Kid went to work. What do you want?
He was doing a lot of work last year, too.
All righty. So you are a big hot dog eating contest. Apparently, that's how you start your 4th of July.
It is appointment viewing for me. Every single year since I was yay big, 12 or 13, when Kobayashi was the guy winning those hot dog eating contests, I've been tuning into the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. It's like 10 or 11 a.m. every July 4th, and I don't know why, but I effing love watching guys shove some wieners
Joey
down their
Chestnut
throat.
is back in, so whatever his what he had a fake meat endorsement deal.
Yeah, Impossible Meats or
yes,
whatever. Yeah.
That violated some stupid bylaw of Nathan's that did not allow him to do there.
They didn't want him to sponsor anything
It's
else.
a hot dog eating contest. Get over yourselves.
Like, come on.
So he's back in this year. Minus 1,800. He is an overwhelming favorite. I don't know any of these other people. Patrick Bertoletti is your second favorite at plus 1,000. If you take Joey Chestnut out, Bertoletti is your favorite at minus 110. James Webb at plus 250. Are you going to? That's a lot of coin you got to put down for Chestnut to win. But is he a lock? Minus 1,800.
Man, I mean,
So you got to drop too large to win $125. But is that sure money?
That's what I'm usually I'm not one to say, like, why don't you go throw 20 grand on this? But like, if you have it sitting around, I would bet the house that I don't own, to quote one Brian Wheeler, rest in peace, that Joey Chestnut would make you money on that bet. Like, hands down, a minus 1,800 I think is actually too little. Like, I think it should be favored at like minus 5,000. Like, this is an obvious win. So,
all right, let me see. Oh, let's see what the
$1,800.
specials are. You probably make okay. So Joey Chestnut over 65 dogs is minus 400. Over 70 is minus 165. Over 75 is plus 250.
Just for the fun of it, because he is, so good at this and he's hit 70 before, throw a little bit of fun money on the 75. What is it? You said plus 250?
Yeah, the over-under is 71.5 on Joey Chestnut.
I would take the over on that.
Plus 105, so even money there.
I would say he's trying to make a good showing after missing last summer. So he's, like I said, hit 70 a couple times before. He's always ready. The dude literally, if you've heard how he prepares for this, he doesn't eat for like 2 days, and he actually works out. He looks like he's in good shape, and that apparently helps him digest this stuff faster. So,
Wimbledon going on? You dabble?
I'd place money on like Alcaraz, but that's like the only guy I know.
Oh, no, right now, you can still get plus money on Arina Sabalenka to win the women's singles title at plus 185.
Okay.
So you have Paulini's out, Coco Gauff is out. Iga Swiatek is still in, but grass is not her favorite surface. Like plus 185 right now. Like Arina Sabalenka is on a roll.
Yeah.
So as long as mentally she doesn't have an off day, she's focused and engaged in every match. I got to think that's some pretty good. Now, the men, it's a little different because you have Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. Sinner at plus 160, Alcaraz at plus 115. The Joker there at plus 600. He just won.
Yeah.
Those are pretty much your last. The best American is Taylor Fritz. And like we said, he's had 2 5-setters. He dropped the first 2 sets in his opener, and then he played 5 sets. He can't be leaving himself out there for 4.5 hours. He's at plus 2,200, but I don't know that he's got the game. The big new phenom on the men's circuit is João Fonseca, an 18-year-old from Brazil, who serves ridiculously hard, as just lightning off of his racket. He is at plus 5,000. He's still learning, though. I don't know if he gets later into the matches center court going up against some veteran guys. But that's what you're doing there with Wimbledon. What else? What else are you looking at? Some baseball?
Yeah, I was trying to find to see because you were talking about Cal Raleigh bombs this weekend coming up against the All-Star break, and you've it depends on who's pitching against him, but you've kind of been seeing maybe +3 to 450 odds for Cal Raleigh to homer at any particular point. So I think I'll place one for tonight, maybe like a 10 spot on Cal Raleigh to hit a bomb, and then either tomorrow or Sunday. One of those two or three games, I think he's gonna go a yard, just hoping to get lucky on one. I was so close when I was infilling with Danny Meringue a couple weeks ago. My D-Gen pick of the day, or lock of the day, was Rowdy Tellez to homer, and he's no longer a Mariner, but I missed it by 6 inches, maybe a foot. Yeah, he hit it right to the wall in right field, but back up against it. Unfortunately, guy made the catch. Like,
so you go.
I feel like I'm onto something here. You really just got to look at pitching matchups. And Cal,
well, it's
been on fire lately. Just
the Royals ace Seth Lugo is on the bump today.
Well, he hasn't been doing so well this year.
So and we'll look. Let's see if we can get some game props for you. Batter props. All right. Home runs, Cal Raleigh +230 to hit a home run.
So +200 to +3 or 450. That sounds pretty close to what we've been seeing. And honestly, +230 is pretty low. I'd probably stay away from that unless like you think that the matchup that particular night is going to hit. So it's once again, it's all about pitching matchups. Although every time I bet on a particular team, like I'll never forget this. I placed a $100 bet once on like the Toronto Blue Jays, and Chris Bassett ended up having his worst game of his career. 7 runs given up in like 2 innings, and he was out. And it's like, dude, are you kidding me? So I'm probably like Sprague. I shouldn't bet as much as I do, but thankfully my units are small. I don't unit shame. In fact, I'll tell everybody my unit size. It's $7. Nobody talks about what their actual unit size is. I will tell everybody it is a $7 unit, baby.
There you go. So that's Sprague in the line. One final Sprague in the line brought to you by quote. I hope you, Jason Pierre, paw your fingers while you send my dog under his bed on the 4th weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, make sure you take care of those pets. Not the best day or weekend for them. So I remember, my pup, Cody, rest in peace there, not a big fan of the fireworks. So
we try to leave white noise on for the kitties.
It puts a huge damper on things when you have a pup that it doesn't work for them. So hope everybody is safe. Thunder blanket worked well, a little tranquilizer, and at least it made the night tolerable. Hopefully everybody is safe out there. There you go. We'll come back. Some final thoughts. Wrap things up. See if there's any other. I haven't seen any NBA nuggets. We're waiting for see if anything else. So I think it's all quiet. Everybody's getting ready for the weekend. Again, the NBA deals and trades can finally go down on the 6th. That's when the new league year starts as we wrap things up here on this pre-holiday edition. Dirt and Sprague on 1080 The Fan.
The Portland Trail Blazers are making moves. This is Dirt and Sprague on 1080 The Fan.
Wrapping things up here on this Thursday, July the 3rd, as we send it into the 4th of July Independence Day weekend. Hope you have great plans. Should be a lot of fun. So much stuff going on around the city. Blues Festival going on. They'll have fireworks down there. Hops game sold out. That's where I'll be this weekend. Games all weekend long. Fireworks both Thursday night or Friday night and Saturday night.
Those are fun games.
Yeah.
I used to MC out there. That was...
The 4th is sold out.
That was, well, I'll toot my own horn here. We had every weekend sold out when I was MCing because as the owner at the time told me, you are the reason we don't suck. So really appreciate you. I knew how to get the crowd going, man. So I'm happy that they're still succeeding out there. And those fireworks shows, they are pretty freaking awesome. Hops do it up.
Nope, we do it up out there, so it should be tons of fun. So come out, see us here over the weekend. Love to see people out there, whether you're going to the coast or the mountains. Have you decided? I'm still deciding. I need to hit the store.
Yeah.
And then put something on the smoker. We have people at Tri-Tip. Never a problem with Tri-Tip. But I'm curious if I want to do something a little different, a little unique.
Like different seasoning, or what are you thinking?
I don't know. Do I do something with lamb, maybe?
I've never smoked lamb. I'm sure it'd be good, but you probably got
to do a leg of lamb. I could do a rack of lamb.
Ooh, make sure that's really low and slow. Yeah, that's get overcooked like ribs.
Well, lamb you gotta kind of crank it up and just sear it, sort of thing. You're not gonna smoke it.
No, so
the way you would brisket or ribs or
you're not going to put it
butt.
in the smoker then.
Well, the smoker, you can crank it up and it works on the grill too. You can sear stuff.
No,
you can get it hot enough to sear at the end.
That's true. I just that good old flavor coating. A big old piece of smoked meat.
Yeah.
I feel like on lamb that would be good.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of stuff you can do. I get sick of the traditional either trying to whatever you do with lamb, making it like a gyro.
Oh.
Or the traditional mint and rosemary.
Jelly. Yeah.
You got to do something. You got to do something fruity with the glaze. It takes sweetness great, whether it's cherries, pomegranate, something in that regard. To do a bit more of a glaze.
I don't think they sell it anymore, but they've had it at times at Costco. It's like a habanero pineapple glaze.
If I liked pineapple. Pineapple's too sweet.
I get it, but you're talking about like a little sweet with lamb. That works perfectly on lamb. I've put that like just in the frying pan and seared the lamb a little bit, and then you get that flavor from the sauce. Like, yes, please.
What do you do for dessert?
Just ice cream, probably. Or my wife loves to make macarons, so she'll do those every once in a while. So we have those around our house.
That takes a lot of effort.
She is very good at those, though. I mean, it does. You got to slap the pans down. You got to make sure that like you dry each side, and then put the filling in. It's a lot.
That's a lot going on. Now, ice cream's probably more along those lines.
Are you an apple pie guy? Or?
No, I am not a fruit pie person. I don't. No.
I like apple crisp or like apple cobbler.
No.
Because then everything's all warm. But like apple pie, I get the chunks of like almost, they're supposed to be cooked, but then you
I don't
bite
like
into the
mushy
hard chunk
fruit.
Well, that it's supposed to be mushy, but I've had too much apple pie where I just bite into the apple in the middle of the pie and it's still like hard. It's like, what are you doing?
No.
Didn't cook that well enough.
No. I'm not. No, fruit pies don't do it for me. Yeah.
I understand.
That'll be, we'll pull that.
Yeah, fruit pies, fruit cakes.
Oh, no, fruitcake's nasty. You got to soak it in so much rum in order to make it palatable and moist enough. There we go. So, coming up this weekend, it'll be a lot of baseball here on the Fan. We got a doubleheader. First game at 11:30 tomorrow on 910, and then I think 3 o'clock we got a game here, game Saturday, and then Sunday we get a doubleheader actually.
Ooh.
So whoever the Yankees are playing, are the Yankees playing the Mets this weekend?
Oh, is it a Subway Series?
I can't remember.
Let me see on the schedule here.
Come on, hustle up.
New York v. Toronto, which will be an interesting matchup since Toronto has all of the sudden been on a crazy run and are now sitting at the top of the AL East with said New York Yankees. New York in Canada.
Well, that's today. They're finishing up a series. No, the Mets are hosting the Yankees on a weekend series.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to get a lot of that.
Friday today. My bad.
No, it's Thursday. So
Feels
you're
like
going to get a lot of that. And then also you're going to get the Padres and Rangers, I think, the late game on Sunday as well. We mentioned U.S. national soccer team playing in the Gold Cup championship game, the final 4 o'clock against Mexico Sunday on Fox. And so that will be a lot of fun. And the other thing we're keeping an eye on, looking for, will be the it'll be the Summer League roster.
Yeah.
For the Trailblazers as we get into that. So there'll be a lot of that next weekend. I will be here next week, Tuesday through Friday. Dirt and Sprague will be on vacation. They're taking their summer vacation here, recharging the jets so they can refuel and be ready to go. It'll be a big rest of the summer, especially as we start getting into college football media days. That is right around the corner. ACC, SEC, Big Ten is the 22nd through the 24th of July. That will be a huge week for us here at The Fan. Thank you for getting up early.
No worries, man.
And having some fun. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your holidays. Colin is up next, and then Dirt and Sprague will be back with some guest hosts on Monday for you. Be safe. Enjoy the heck out of the holiday. That'll do it for us. For Schultze, I'm Swag. Have a great holiday weekend.